It is good to see that around more than 100 people have shown interest in how to overcome fears and become super confident to win life like a warrior. But there are very few who have gone and taken next step and registered for the upcoming webinar on 13th. So anyway, you see, your life is your responsibility, your obligation, your duty toward the success, towards your family, towards yourself, and that nobody can change it. So let me tell you something about the performance cycle. You know what happens in that? In the life, जिंदगी में जब कभी कुछ ऐसी इंसिडेंट हो जाती है, फेलियर हो जाता है या कुछ ऐसे खराब एक्सपीरियंसेस हो जाते हैं, so after some time, maybe after a couple of years, then you come into the same situation again, the mind gives you negative feedback. And it recollects the same incident which has happened earlier, a couple of years back. And the mind tells, oh, that incident has happened to you earlier. Now, if you again do this thing, then you may again fail or again may experience the bad experience. So this is the mind which plays the trick. And what happens is that if you don't control the mind, then you feel lack of confidence. You feel lack of courage. And when there is lack of courage or confidence, then what happens? You take poor action. And when you take poor action, then there is a poor result. And again, you come back to the same bad experience because of the poor result. So this kalchak continues. Bad experience, negative feedback by the mind, that he reminds you that you failed once, and then lack of confidence and courage, and then finally poor action and the poor result, and that's continued. So somewhere you have to break this cycle. If you really want to achieve something in life, you have to break this cycle. So let me share one incident or one story, small story of squadron leader Tulika Rani. I have interviewed her and a year back. It's a very inspiring story of her. She is a mountaineer. She is a Mount Everester. And she is a ex-Air Force officer, squadron leader. And what had happened with her, that first time when she went as a member of the Indian Air Force team to climb the Mount Everest, she failed. Failed in the sense she could not summit Mount Everest. She has to come back because of she felt that she will lose her fingers because of cold, and she has to fall back. But you know what happened? When she came back and she met her mother, she narrated that incident to her, and the mother told her, look, there is nothing wrong. You are a coward. You were fearful, that is why you came back. And this thing get into the mind of Squadron Tulka Rani. She that day decided, come what may, she will prepare well again and go for the summit once again. And the next time, she did it. But the thing is that she came across the same fear at the same point again after the preparation of the rigorous training, and how she overcame that fear and finally became the winner. Finally, she became successful in climbing the Mount Everest. Please listen to that clip, which I have especially taken out from that interview for you to show. Over to that recording. And finally, your second journey started, and what all you faced as a challenges, and finally overcome.
When I went there, the first challenge was that this time I was missing my team. So earlier there used to be an experienced leader who could take decisions on our behalf. This time I was to take my own decisions. And I would say that this was my first expedition individually, because before this, I had gone on 5 expeditions as a part of the Indian Air Force team. There were always more experienced people than us. But this time it was Mount Everest, and I was first time alone on my own. and I was responsible for all the decisions that I would take. So that was one thing. Another was weather wise, and all these things happen on every expedition, so it happened here too. While I was climbing, the most interesting part was that I fell sick again on the same ice wall, the Lhotse wall, above 22,000 feet. And this was kind of a test for me, because last time it had defeated me. Again, this time it became very formidable on my path, and I was feeling mountain sickness, had to come down. So my body was swollen up basically. And there was this night when I was sitting holding my chest in severe ache, and I thought that perhaps this would be the end of it. But I thought, no, this cannot be the end of it. Even if all the circumstances appear against me, it cannot be the end. And whenever I have realized in my life that whenever we have this conviction within our heart that no, this is not the end, we find that the journey continues, because we continue on that path. If we come out of the circle, we are over. That destination is not going to come to us. But the beautiful part in life is, till the time we decide to continue on this, the game is never over. The journey is continuing. So I thought that no, this cannot end just like this. So just the last night of climb, just 3,000 feet between me and the summit. And of course, it is not that one day. It is the culmination approaching of these last 3 years. Every moment of it, I have just prepared towards this particular moment of this night. And when this night arrives, what happens is that I started feeling cold in my foot. Now we can imagine that we were climbing above 26,000 feet in the dark night. And this particular portion on Mount Everest is called death zone. So these were the conditions between life and death. Wind is really high and temperatures are plunging down to perhaps 30 degrees Celsius or so. In that condition, I know that I have just started climbing and my foot is feeling cold. Again, it is the same situation. I'm even in a dire situation because now I'm in the death zone, much higher altitude than I was earlier in my previous attempt. So now that means I am in the grave danger of having frostbite for sure, because I have to climb the entire night. I do not know how long the climb would be because I have not seen it. It is really difficult. And I have to come back down also. So basically it was uncertainty. If I continue, I was risking my life as well as my limb. So as said, that risk is pertaining, but now with this cold feeling in my foot, I was certain that there is something wrong has started happening. So at that moment, I decided to continue, because I thought that for last 1 year, between my failed attempt and this night, I have lived constantly in guilt. And I do not want to live with this guilt my rest of the life. So that's why I would risk my life perhaps and go for my self-esteem, go for my self-confidence. And that's why I decided to continue, though I took all precautions that I could have taken. Thank you.
Now you must have noticed in the clip that how Tulika Rani, when she reached the same spot where she has come back once, how she overcome the fear. She decided that come what may, even if there was a fear of death, she said she will continue. For her self-confidence, for her self-esteem, for which she has prepared for last 2 years continuously, vigorously. And for her name and fame, she continued. And finally, she became the winner. Rather, she overcame the mind over the body or the soul over the mind. She controlled her mind and she gone ahead with the climbing and finally became successful. And that is the only mantra, that whenever you are fearful, take a massive action. Overcome that. So now if you want to know more about fear and how to overcome it to win life like a warrior, then find the link below and click it to register for the upcoming masterclass on 13th November, Sunday at 4 p.m. Till then, keep winning. See you there. Thank you.